Hello, beauties, beautiful, beautiful souls. Greetings from Houston, live stream number 9 out of 111. What did I title this one? I titled this one Get Out. Okay, so that's what I did today to connect to the earth. And honestly, this is the fastest, easiest way to connect with the earth is to get out, get outside. Don't be contained in walls. I've spent a lot of time inside walls these last few days. The walls of an airplane, or the walls in my hotel room, or the walls of the various workspaces that I've been working in. No complaints, except that is not where our spirit is going to feel most expansive and most supported. Our spirit needs to fill up space, be outside, be outdoors. The best way that I know to be in service to the planet is to actually be outside appreciating her and soaking up the sunshine and being among the greenery and the plants and all of that. So say a hello if you're here. So far I can't see who's here. I just see a number at the top of the screen. So I went to a really weird place today. It's a garden, it's a meditation center. It's literally like in the middle of industrial Houston, but it's off this side street, and it's this big, beautiful piece of land that they are creating a meditation center. And so that there's these gardens, and it was recommended that we check it out. So a friend took me there, and it was just different, I guess. I know I said the word weird. It was just very different. Lots of beautiful bamboo, and definitely some pretty like waterways that they're making. There's a lot of what I call tchotchkes, like little figurines everywhere, little statues, not just Buddha statues and spiritual statues, but like there was a horse statue, and there was an elephant statue, and there was like these little pictures of Santa Claus. I couldn't quite figure it out. And honestly, it was kind of like an assault to my visual senses, because I was really sort of needing and craving to be in tree energy. And it wasn't quite that. So, but I'm grateful for the opportunity. And the whole point is to get outside. So I did get the opportunity to do that. Yesterday I did a live stream on the importance when you travel of reusing your towels in your hotel room instead of just leaving them laying around and having them be replaced unnecessarily by the housekeeping staff. The funniest, not funny thing happened. So, I live streamed that, and I was super careful about hanging up my towels after I used them. And when I came back to work that day, hi Ellie, my towels had been replaced. I was like, wait a second, I just live streamed about this. You can't take my towels. I want to save the earth. I don't want to use resources unnecessarily. So I was kind of frustrated and a little bit miffed. Like, why did that just happen? There's signs in every bathroom that say, we want to be ecologically responsible, so hang up your towels so that we don't give you more towels and use more resources if you don't need them. So I called the front desk. I grappled with this a little bit because I thought, well, should I just leave it alone? But I'm in a phase right now where I'm encouraging myself to speak out more. This is why I'm doing these live streams. I feel like I've remained on the silent side of this too often. I kind of seethe sometimes when I see certain behaviors that we all know by this point are just bad for the planet. And so it's so much better to speak up, and you can speak up and be polite. You can speak up and be kind and compassionate and connecting with others. It doesn't have to be like a whiny, complainy kind of thing. So I called the front desk, and I said, good morning. Isn't it true that if we hang up our towels, that's the signal not to give more towels? And she said, yes. And I said, well, I hung up my towels because I really do want to be more ecologically responsible. And I got all new towels. And she said, okay, I'll mention it to them. No, I don't know what's going to really happen or if she's even going to mention it, but I spoke up. So speaking up and speaking out on behalf of the earth, that's kind of what I'm up to right now. Ellie says, so much power is in nature we can connect to and draw energy from. Yes, ultimately the power is within regardless. That's true. That's true, Ellie. I totally agree with you. That's true for me too. There is a lot of power in nature. And I feel like the reason why I want you guys to connect with nature is because we protect what we love. And we can't love what we don't experience, right? We really have to have a connection to something to love it. And I want all of us to feel so deeply in love with our planet and with all of her living beings. And I want so much for us to recognize and remember that we are all connected to every living being. There is a thread of connection that knits us all together. And so what we do to ourselves, we do to everybody. What we do to the planet, we do to ourselves. It's truly that tightly woven together. Ellie says, ultimately, there is no lack. The earth will ultimately take care of herself. It is just us that needs to change for us to evolve as a species. So, yeah, that could be the case. And I certainly see that perspective, and at times that feels true for me. And at other times, I feel this very strong push and very strong draw to take care of the planet and to not leave things to taking care of themselves. I do trust that Pachamama she's got this, you know. I do trust that many times. I've noticed in myself that when I'm out in nature, and this has kind of been bothering me lately, when I'm out in nature and I'm admiring these beautiful birds, like today, one of the workspaces that I was channeling in was an office space that was right off of a bayou. So a bayou is this like kind of like a canal, but a pretty canal. And there's a lot of beautiful nature around it. It's all these lily pads, and there were these beautiful cranes. There were turtles. I saw literally a dozen turtles, little turtle heads poking out of there. And so there's all kinds of life in this bayou. And I was really appreciating it. And I also feel at the same time that I'm appreciating nature and all of her beauty, literally at the same time, I'm feeling this sadness. I feel like I'm preparing for an end. I feel like I'm preparing to say goodbye. And part of that might be because I just lost a very dear friend in the earthly sense. And part of it might be just there's just a lot of loss going on in general. But I've been feeling like this for a while, actually. And I'm seeking ways to shift that feeling because it interferes with me being so just basking in the pure beauty and glow and healing of this dear planet. It's part of being an empath, I know, is feeling that deeply and feeling the level of destruction literally within my own fibers and cells that is happening all around. But I would like to find a way to be so fully engaged in the love and the appreciation and the observation of these glorious beings, animals, plants, creatures that we share our planet with, that it doesn't have to be that at the same time I'm feeling also so sad and just deeply affected. Ellie says, because when we take care of the planet, we are taking care of ourselves. We are one. Yeah, exactly. You are calling people to connect. We cannot save anything, but we can connect. Yeah, you know what? I'm not giving up yet on this notion of saving. I get what you're saying, Ellie, and I'm not arguing with you. I'm just feeling where it settles out for me. And I've taken this on for right now. I might shift in a different direction, in a parallel direction. I don't know. But I'm going to keep using the phrase save the planet, because it's so much more than just save it, like let it continue to live and breathe and exist. To me, that word is it's just a mismatch of language, really. I just don't have the word to describe what I'm up to, what's so important to me right now. It's being fully engaged, I guess, is a good way to say it. But to me, being fully engaged means being in the action of supporting life and supporting biodiversity and supporting health and all of that. So I get it, and thank you so much for your comments, and I'm so glad to see your beautiful face here on the feed. I'm grateful. So what was the other thing I was going to say? Get out in nature. There was something else, but I'm so tired. I've been channeling for hours today, and I am really spent. It's been amazing. I had such an incredibly wonderful group today at someone's beautiful home in Missouri City. Such a gorgeous gathering of lovely souls. And this was the first time. There was a 95-year-old man, veteran, present in our group tonight. He was the only man, and he was the only 95-year-old that I've ever channeled for. And oh my gosh, was that special. I just felt such a deep connection to him. Ellie says, let's see. The more I step out of the energy of save and into the word yes, fully engaged. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. So, right, because save that's a tricky word. Because the opposite of that is like what, annihilated, and I don't like that. Maybe that's why I'm having such a hard time moving around in this energy of it. Ellie says, I'm going to get out more in nature, and the stars are calling. Have a beautiful evening with the stars, my dear soul sister. Thank you for joining me tonight. And so, yes, that's a first for me, channeling for a 95-year-old, and he was so open-hearted and he held such a gorgeous space for the whole room. I was pretty smitten with him. I could not help but insist on a hug from him afterwards. And good thing he likes to hug, because he gave a beautiful, beautiful hug, and that was really special. So good night, sweet souls. Get some good sleep. I love you too, Ellie. I love you so much, lady. Much love to all of you. Good night.